Hello everybody, welcome back to Neoquest 2. So I am on my way now back to Wasset Village. We have to talk to the lady that we rescued in the last episode. Lefira, I think it was. I just looked on Jelly Neo. It says we gotta go talk to her, then we gotta go talk to this other guy, and then it will allow us to find the medallion piece. So it's marked on the map on Jelly Neo where it is, but it says that you need to talk to these people first before it'll actually be there. So that's what we're going to do this time. I got a level for Mipsy, and nothing other than that. Only have seen a few battles. I put the point into haste as I was. I'm really liking how often Tailinia will slow these guys with that shot. Almost makes me wish I would have put some points into slowing, because that combined with spray of arrows seems like it works super well. But whatever. I feel like I'm already dedicated to Shockwave. I mean, Shockwave is what I always used to put them into when I would play it, and it got me through just fine, so I'm sure it's nothing to worry about too much. I almost feel like with Velm, this is getting too easy. Like, I've barely lost any health, and anytime I do, I mean, just throw Velm in there. It's like no big deal at all. I don't know which one of these she's in. Luckily, the site's moving pretty quick today. As I say that, we're gonna get hung up here. There we go. I don't know. I think I figured out the trick. I think if you push it a second time, it makes it go faster. Could just be in my head. I don't know. Let me look. Let me look and see where she is here. All right, she's in the one with the Akara, which I believe is this one. Yeah, in the back. Lefira, the uni. Lefira says, "Well, I've had a little time to rest now, and I want to thank you again, honestly, for rescuing me. I was a bit put out being stuck in that dungeon for 3 days, but I've gotten over it already. I suppose you wouldn't mind knowing what this was all about. I certainly are a bit curious." Lefira nods and then makes a gesture with her hand. The sound of the perpetual sandstorm outside suddenly vanishes, as do the sounds of the village and the words of Amodi. Just across the room, Amodi looks upset at being excluded from the conversation. "This is a temporary silence ward. It will keep anyone from overhearing us." Well, silence ward is really just a magical in-character term. "You see, I'm not really a lost little girl in some desert village. I know that you are on board a starship trapped in the simulation rooms, and I am a computer program, much like the Snow Wager Sentinel program that you have already met. Lefira isn't my proper name. It's LFRA, which stands for Library Fast Retrieval Archive. The spells that I cast are really information transfer requests that move across the ship's computer. I believe that the Revenant who kidnapped me was just a manifestation of one of the many virus programs that have taken over the computer." Plot twist. What was the Revenant's purpose? Lefira says, "From what I could gather, its purpose was to prevent me from answering data requests from the ship's computer and operating system. Now, I'm free, but the data lines are still clogged. That's what the so-called sandstorm is. It's hard for any but the most simple requests to get through the system. That's where you come in. The Medallion of Wind is a sub-program that will reset the I.O. ports and clear the data lines. But they broke it into 3 pieces and scattered it around the system. You've got one piece now. The next one is buried in some old files deep in a data cluster, but I can't find it myself." How do we find it? Far northwest of here, in game terms, is an oasis in the desert, a pool surrounded by palm trees. There you'll find a crazy old hermit. If you tell him the proper access code, he'll tell you where to find the second part of the medallion. The code is Alpha 37 Tango Echo 9. She looks each of your party square in the eye and says gravely, "Good luck. All our fates depend on you retrieving that medallion." Our fates? What do you mean? Lafira sighs and says, because the people who took control of the ship after they locked you in the simulation rooms, they set the ship to fly directly into a star. I don't know how long we have left, but as you see, time is of the essence. She rises and ends the silence word with a sharp gesture. The roar of the sandstorm fills your ears again. Go now, and good luck. Remember all that I have said. Wow, they really raised the stakes here. So we're all gonna die if we don't win. I didn't think the stakes would get that high, to be honest. Come on, no, my second click isn't working. We're getting hung up still. Whoops, I accidentally left a lot of my Neopoints out. I meant to put them in the bank. That was my food club winnings from yesterday. I have a pretty old account, so I'm able to bet quite a bit in food club. I don't remember. I think like 11,000, somewhere around there. My account was made in 2004. It's almost about a month away from being 16 years old. So it's up there. And if you don't know, food club, how much you're allowed to bet depends on how old your account is. So I've been putting in my bets most days. I've actually only done it twice so far, and because I've only started getting back into it a couple of days ago. But I've won 300,000 both of those days, so far it's paid off. I bet like 100. I put in like 100,000, so overall I've made about a 400,000 profit, which is pretty nice. Especially nice now that I am starting to get back into the site more. I talked about last time how I'm getting more into the pet customization. So with that means I need a lot of Neopoints. So many colors, like paintbrushes I looked up, pets that I wanted that I looked up, and they were a lot of money. I'm thinking about painting my croc ghost, like I talked about, so that shouldn't be crazy. I think it was like 200 to 300k. And I also talked about maybe making my Drake blue, which is only like 50k. So those ones aren't too bad, but for my ice hissy, I really wanted a Snowickle, I think it's called. The one that looks, like a baby snow wager. But they're like 5 mil, so that's gonna be way down the line. I have like 3 mil on hand. So I need to make more. I don't want to spend all of it, of course. And then some of the other colors I was looking at, like the Mariquan, that's another few mil. I don't remember exactly how much. I was considering making my loop Halloween, but I don't know if I really want to do that. But all this to say, it costs a lot of money. So that's why I've been trying to do Food Club more diligently, trying to actually do my Trudy surprise every day. I don't even ever keep up with that because I was just playing so little. Even when I first started playing this, I was really only getting on to play this. But now I'm just starting to play more in general. It happened right before the score reset, so I haven't gotten any progress from trophies. But, on the next score reset, I'm going to go for it. Probably only have 2 more score resets for a lot of the games, which is pretty sad. I don't know the exact day Flash is going away. I don't know if it's just December 31st or what, but if it is, then we got November 1st and December 1st, and then we're done. And that will be pretty sad. Probably should have healed. I was practicing a Hungry Skeeth, or whatever the game is actually called. I think the avatar is called Hungry Skeeth. And I was actually doing pretty well at it. I think I might actually be able to get that avatar, which is good. There's a handful of games that I just have never been able to crack on the avatars. So yeah, and like, you know, who knows if I highly doubt every game is going to make the transition, so I have to imagine some of those avatars are going to become retired. I've missed a lot of avatars just from being on hiatus and playing irregularly. And a lot of the like site trophies also. Bukaru eyes you skeptically. Yeah, what do you want? Alpha 37 Tango Echo 9. Bukaru's eyes narrow at you, then he blinks and nods. Code accepted, he says. What are you folks looking for? The Medallion of Wind. Bukaru nods again. Access scene. Interesting. Okay, I'll make this pretty easy. Clears his throat, then begins to speak in a booming, stentorian voice. Travel due north from where I now stand, almighty adventurers, until you come up against the northern mountains. Then you shall turn east and proceed until your path is blocked again. There, at the foot of the cliffs, you shall find the buried treasure for which you seek. He lowers his arms and looks at you. Pretty good, eh? Anyway, once you find it, you'll want to head off to the southeast and find the old ruined city of Akten-Ka up in the mountains. Its location will be marked on the piece of medallion that you find. Well, get going. All right, man. We're going to get going. Let me grab that map so I can see exactly where it is. Because it's just like, it's in a random part of the ground. Like, he kind of gave us directions, but they weren't fantastic. Once I put up that shield, I feel like we're like untouchable. And even then, like, Velm can heal any damage before anything really bad happens. It really just almost feels too easy right now. But I remember some battles in Haunted Woods being pretty hard. I remember the fairies always being pretty hard. Since that was the only real fight where you have multiple opponents. I remember always thinking the Esophager, who's the last boss in Haunted Woods, was like way easier than the fairy fight. Alright, let's see where we are. I think we're gonna go just directly to the right here. And that should bring us right on top of the medallion. We're almost getting to enemies with 200 HP. I guess I'll throw that shield up. Let's go for the new guy here. Decrepit Mummy. Looks like a Galert. Just like mine. I think this is a Techo. Yeah. I get Techos and Nimos confused sometimes. And these are Asias. Pretty certain of that. Trying to like remember all the Neopets names. I remember most of the Neopet names. But the pets I don't remember a lot of. Like the game Defenders of Neopia or Neopia, however you want to say it. I used to be really good at that, but now it's hard for me to remember all the names. All right, so cool. We got a map on the medallion now, it says. The partially completed medallion now appears to form a map of the Lost Desert. The upper part of the map is where you found the lower half of the medallion. The ruined city of Aktenka is marked by a small black dot. So right there. So that's where we're heading now. Now let me get the Eastern Desert map up here. So there's a Medallion gemstone in the dirt. I'm gonna guess we have to go to, yeah, it says on Jelly Neo we have to go to the Aktenka first. It's interesting, like the difference between this map and the Terror Mountain map. Like the Terror Mountain map was very spread out. We were walking a lot all the time. But this one, it's like one big area that you're just going around. Like you have this, like it's all, it's more like there's like the city in the middle, and then there's all these different areas connecting to that, rather than like one straight line like Terror Mountain. It's pretty nice. I usually prefer maps like that. You get familiar with the area, though it's hard to do that on this game because you don't really see a lot of it. I think that's one big change I would make to this game. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of issues with the game in general, but I think expanding your field of view would have been something that I would imagine wouldn't be too hard to do. But I don't know anything about game coding, so maybe it would be. But expanding your field of view really, I think, would have helped. Like help the areas feel more familiar. Like you'd familiarize yourself with them a lot better. And it wouldn't be such a pain to navigate. Like right now, personally, I just feel like this game is completely unplayable without a map. And I think maybe expanding your field of view would help with that. Granted, like on old monitors and stuff, that might not have been possible. Like you can see on the current monitors, I have plenty of space on the sides here. But I mean, from what I remember, this really, when I first would play this back in like 2005, this really took up the entire monitor. Those old CRT monitors that were in 4.3. I think they were in 4.3 anyway. I'm gonna go for this guy because he's gonna hit us sooner. I was just reminded about I might have talked about it already, but I was just reminded about the PS2 game, The Darkest Fairy. I never played it. But I always remember like seeing commercials for it and really wanting to play it. But the PS2 was the only system of that generation I didn't have. I had a GameCube and I got a hand-me-down Xbox pretty late in the generation, but I still played it a lot. But my main console was a GameCube, so I never was able to play The Darkest Fairy. But I think I would have loved it when I was a kid. It looks pretty bad now, but I mean, who knows? It might be fun. I thought about maybe trying it out. I might try it out on here, maybe as like a one-off or a couple of episodes. But I don't know about playing the whole thing because I looked on how long to beat, and it looks like it is what was it, like 25 hours or something like that. So it's a pretty big game, and I'm gonna guess it's not very good. So I don't know if I'd want to play through the whole thing. I don't know though. I mean, it looks like a platformer kind of, and I really love 3D platformers. It's described as like action adventure, So I don't really know what that means, but it looks like you have like a jump button and you're doing some platforming and you have a sword and you're hitting enemies. Oh man, I went way too far, didn't I? Well, this is fine. Because we don't really need to go to the middle of this part because that's where the medallion is, but we can't even get that yet. So yeah, I might check that game out eventually. I was always, I'm curious about it because I always wanted to play it. I mean, even as a kid though, I never thought it looked like it was that good. I just wanted to play it because I love Neopets, but it never seemed like it was a great game. So I wonder how I would feel about it now. I'm pretty open-minded with games. Even bad ones, I feel like I can have some fun with them. So I might check it out. There was a few other games released, like Pet Adventures. I think for like the Wii. I don't remember. I didn't have that one, but I don't know why I didn't have that one. Maybe maybe I looked at it and maybe I wasn't aware it existed. Maybe it didn't look like it was good. I don't know. Um, but I did have a Wii, so it seems like something I would have wanted to get. Granted, I didn't have a ton of games on the Wii. I mostly stuck with Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, Twilight Princess, Super Paper Mario. I actually, and the Mario Sports games on the Wii. I actually didn't even play Galaxy until like 2014 or so. I had it. I just didn't really like my family would play it, but I just never really was interested in it, and I don't know why. Because I loved 64 and Sunshine. So yeah, I mean, I never I remember getting Skyward Sword and I barely played it, so I didn't. So that's I mean, it's probably just because I just didn't have a lot of games in general. I had Rock Band for the Wii, and I played that a lot, and Guitar Hero 3. So that's actually probably what it was. I was just mostly into the rhythm games at that time, and that was pretty much all I played. That and some Wii Sports, especially Wii Sports Resort. Film's got nothing left to do. Perfect. Film can actually do 4 damage. All right, there we go. We're almost gonna get a whole level out of just walking on normal. That hardly ever happens between areas, but we've just been walking so much. It's been pretty much this entire episode. Um, I do wish Velm could do a little damage, because I always feel like I'm wasting most of his turns. Oh, I should put my shield up. I didn't even think about that. But I still don't want to invest in that one skill, because it just feels like kind of a waste. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't matter too much on normal. Like, it's not too difficult. It would probably be more important on like insane difficulty or something. I really wish I talked about it before, but I wish you could get the insane difficulty prizes more than once, because as it stands, I don't see any reason to play insane difficulty ever again. Um, it'd be nice to have a little incentive to do it. You get like 50k Neo points, but that's really not, you know, a huge deal. All right, so that's finally maxed. Get that stunning strikes. Um, though the prizes really aren't even that expensive anymore. I looked them up. and saw they were actually pretty cheap now, which I was surprised about. Last time I looked them up, like I mean, maybe I'm misremembering, but I feel like I looked them up in like 2016 when I came back last time, and they were still like 3 mil or so. But yeah, I bought a Wand of Reality and a Sword of Apocalypse because they were both 300k, and I've always wanted them, so I was like, why not? If Neoquest goes away, they're going to skyrocket in price, so I better get them now. Thought about also buying the Bow of Destiny. I might do that. I might just buy all of them because, like I said, if this game goes away, I got to imagine those will skyrocket in price. I don't know why they dropped though. Maybe they're not so useful in the battledom anymore. I haven't really kept up with the best weapons and stuff. I mean, they're not the best weapons, but you know, they're pretty good for the money, especially with how cheap they are now. The best ones are like really hard to get things like Kudora's staff and Illisin's staff. Or I think it's Kudora's wand. Bloodin says, well, bless my eyes, I ain't seen another person alive in this sandstorm in forever. Of course, I have been wandering around in the freaking desert for 6 weeks, so what do you expect? Who are you? Really, man, who are you? Oh, my name's Bloodin. Nice to meet you. Yeah, well, like I said, I've been wandering around for a while. Not a living soul in sight. Of course, that's mostly due to the hordes of ravening undead all over the place. And the various not undead but still dangerous beasties walking about too. Although I guess even the ravening undead hordes learn after a while they don't come near me anymore. He brandishes a large sword. Vera here makes sure of that. Vera? You bet. She's a pretty thing, ain't she? He smiles at his sword. Yep, she and I have been through a lot together. I found her up yonder in the old ruined city at the top of the mountain here. That little undead fellow I got her from's not needing her anymore. Do you know anything else about the city? Why, sure, I spent a little time scouting about. Worst thing I saw was a ghostly loop of some kind. Big fella, kind of royal looking. Maybe some undead king, I don't know. I didn't stick around though, he gave me the willies. Well, if you're gonna go explore up there, I say good luck to you. I'm gonna stay here till the sandstorm ends. Have fun. Thank you, man. I gotta imagine we're coming close to the end of this level. Like, I gotta imagine when we get the medallion or so, that's gonna be about the end. Just looking real quick on the map, it does look like after this there's only one more area. So that'll be nice to go to a new area, be in the Haunted Woods, appropriately in October. Said I wanted to play some spooky games, and looks like I'm gonna get my wish. Can you do 14? Oh, you can do 16. These guys got slowing strikes also. Alright, let's get Mipsy's haste up. I got a weak bottled fire fairy. Cool. I suppose. Alright, we're almost there. Definitely not going to make it through this place today, but we should do that next episode. We will. Let me get my map here. There's actually only one floor, it looks like. Yeah, actually he's not. Let me read this real quick. Yeah, it looks like all we have to do is walk to the boss. Alright, maybe we will get through this today. Let's just go do it. And then on the next episode, we'll be able to finish up the chapter probably. That'll be really nice. Yeah, this is always the level that I would like stop and come back to like many years later. Because I'd always get bored in the desert. And I also like I I loved getting Velm, but I also felt like I would kind of start to get bored once I got him because I wouldn't have any more party members to look forward to. I kind of feel that way in a lot of games. Like once you get all the party members, I feel like, okay, this is it for the rest of the game. Now I have nothing to look forward to, you know? And I'll start to like drop off. I do that in Pokemon a lot. Like I'll play until I have my full team fully evolved, and then I just kind of get bored because I feel like, okay, I got nothing else to do now. I got nothing to look forward to here. To counter that in Pokemon, I've been trying to usually pick some Pokemon for my team that evolve at high levels, like maybe a Larvitar, maybe a Dratini. Gen 5 has a few that evolve in the 60s even. Just so that, you know, I always have somebody to look forward to evolving. Nice. Yeah, still not really feeling any challenge here now that we have Velm, but at least they're starting to do like shields and stuff. That makes it a little more interesting. I might be a little under leveled going into chapter 4, but I'm not really concerned about it since like we have Velm. I don't know. Maybe I might run into a roadblock at some point, like maybe the fairies. I can't remember. I think they're pretty late in the chapter though. I really don't remember much about that chapter. Like I don't remember the areas at all. I really only remember a lot of the bosses. Like there's Muka, Huber Knox, and I think both of them are optional. The fairies and the esophager. Um, Maybe I'm sure there's one I'm forgetting at least, but I don't know. I definitely remember Muka and Huber Knox being optional, and I remember Huber Knox being a pain to get to because you have to walk up 10 flights. But we're gonna do it because I want to beat every boss at least. Oh, got some more Neo points. I remember to deposit those. Did not do food club bets today because the odds are not looking too good. At least that's what the Reddit people said. I probably would enjoy it because, you know, I do math like for a living, specifically probability and statistics. So I'm sure I would like it. Colson's ghost looks at you sadly. It is not my will, but you must die. He attacks. All right, man. I don't know why we must die, but, you know, that's cool. I'm not going to underestimate him, even though I'm not too worried. I'm going to put all my buffs on, his debuffs. Might as well throw a damage potion with Elm. Wow. Did really well. Nope. Didn't think that would work. Not as good. Making quick work of him. I wonder if you can heal. Yep. Fair enough. Doesn't matter. I'm doing big damage. We're also taking like none. I haven't even had Velm heal. He just keeps missing. This is a joke. And then I can just heal back up. I don't remember Velm being this broken. Probably because like when I was a kid, I would always try to do more damage still and like let them get lower before I would actually heal. But if you just be a little patient and let Velm always do the healing, it's just like they can't do anything. Coulson's ghost withdraws from the fight, then suddenly becomes more solid, more real, but still a spirit. Thank you for releasing me from that evil grip, he says. Come, we have much to talk about. Okay. Let me look at the stuff you gave me. Straight upgrade, always like that. And then I think we got a bow, yeah. Also a straight upgrade. I mean, we already have both of those maxed out, so whatever. We're just gonna lose out on the slowing strikes, but it was only doing like 1%. I must thank you again for releasing my spirit from the grip in which it was held. As you may know, I died by poisoning some months ago, but I found myself again with life, after a fashion. A few weeks here now. I found myself here, and I have not been able to leave this room. I also found myself forced to kill anyone and anything who entered this place, even though I did not will it. My body moved of its own accord, striking down all who came here. But you have freed me, somehow. Why are you here? It took me not long to discover the reason. In the barrel behind me lies a piece of what I think, if I am not mistaken, is the Medallion of Wind. I suppose I was summoned to prevent anyone here, or anyone from acquiring it, as I guess that you are here looking for it. My will is my own now. I will hinder you no longer. There's no time to lose. I sense that you already have 2 of the other pieces. Take the third, combine it with the other 2, and it shall form a map showing you where to find the gem that the medallion holds. The gemstone is what gives it its power. The rest of the medallion is simply a device for holding the gem. Without the gem, it is just a hunk of metal. Approach the barrel, take the third piece, and then go. Alright. I don't remember him at all, so maybe he is just like very easy. Alright, so there it is, right there. And then I'm sure it's going to tell us to go right there. Of course, it's going to be all the way over there. Alright, we have to walk out of here. That's alright. Alright, so on the next episode, it looks like we're going to be finishing up Act 3 and heading into Act 4. So I'm excited for that. Act 4 is my favorite theme for a chapter, Haunted Woods. So I'm very excited for that. So hope you join me for that, and have a great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.